Guys, sometimes we just need a little bit of laugh, eh? I know we got a bit too much cancer in this era, this woke world, this insanity, clown world, and we need a little bit of laughs and joy to bring some good fortunes to us, because you know what else we have to do, because sometimes it's just too dark, man. Anywho, apparently we have this. The Little Mermaid poised to flounder as Disney's worst 2020 opening in China. Oh my, how bad. You know, it was funny because there was somebody that I was talking to that was also delusional, thinking that 2 million dislikes was a sign of, you know, maybe the movie will still do good. I think the movie will still do good, as they say. And unfortunately, as I predicted, and as any other intellectual individual would seem to know, it's doing horrible. Probably because, you know, it was also released in China, and China is very racist towards black people. And you probably have to put two and two things together. You know, maybe the race swap is probably not a good idea. And then also, you know, maybe putting into China, because, you know, China is, you know, so not racist towards black people. But I digress. While getting a release date can be seen as a success on its own, recent estimates suggest that the film is likely to be Disney's worst performing Chinese release this year. According to Chinese box office observers such as Luis Fernando, the film earned just $13,000 from pre-sales for its opening weekend, indicating a severe lack of interest from China's moviegoers. Well, you know, we're going to go over this a bit as well, because this is what we have here for, you know, being shown in China. Now, obviously, she is black in this photo. It's not very too unbecoming, but you know, many other things. For comparison, Disney's Cruella, which was last live-action adaptation to hit Chinese theaters, was also predicted to earn low figures and ultimately grossed $1.6 million upon opening and $24 million over its entire theatrical run in China. Which is hilarious considering China has billions of people, so if you don't even have that many, if you don't at least break, at least I want to say on average 50, 60 million in China, that's my honest opinion, it's pretty much a flop. And doing 1.6 million, Mulan which was the last live-action remake released before the coronavirus pandemic, grossed $307,000 in a day of pre-sales and $23 million upon opening, leading to $40 million over the course of its theatrical run in China. So, we have this. What prepared to be banned on Hollywood films was lifted following the abandonment of China's strict zero policy, which is a COVID policy, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really matter. So, yeah. It seems that it's not doing too hot in China, which is, you know, not really a surprise there. We have this. Halle Bailey doesn't want unprepared interviews after discussing international experience. It says here that this is live-action adaptation of the beloved classic The Little Mermaid has been highly discussed since this film, and its casting were first announced, dividing audiences and sparking polarized opinions regarding the upcoming movie. While singer and actress Halle Bailey was bravely spoken out on the racism and backlash against her casting as Princess Ariel, a recent experience discussed that the young actress who reportedly came to Disney's high executives asking to never be exposed to similar situations again. During the international premiere of The Little Mermaid in Mexico City, local journalists interviewed the young actress and Spanish actor Javier Bardem at multiple entertainment programs. Unfortunately, what was supposed to be a standard international tour ended up being an unpleasant experience for Halle Bailey, who faced out-of-touch comments from Argentinian actor Patricio Borghetti during an interview in the Mexican morning show Venga la Alegría. I am not good with these words, so I apologize in advance. During the nearly 7-minute interview, Halle was asked about her experience visiting Mexico, how her role as Ariel has impacted her life, and her relationship with fellow actors working in the movie, including Melissa McCarthy. However, about halfway through the interview, Patricio Borghetti stopped to tell Halle, "This isn't a question. It's something I want to share with you. I promise no one in that movie theater was looking at your skin. Cause last night, everyone, including my wife and my children, was lost in your eyes. Everyone." While these comments were made in good faith, according to Argentinian actor, Halle's body language and facial expressions showed discomfort after hearing them and during the rest of the interview, as they really felt racially charged. Well, this type of person is always going to feel like something's racially charged towards them because they're a bloody lunatic. But, you know, it be as it may, it's everybody in China is going to be looking at you racially. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's just the reality that you're going to be facing. During the interview, Bailey commented she had to try to focus on the positivity and seeing all of the beautiful little children and babies' reactions to the dolls and to the mermaid like me that looks like them. But even all of the positivity in the world could not ignore the tone-deaf comments Halle Bailey had to face during her tour promoting the Little Mermaid in Mexico City. The thing is that the movie is god-awful and not liked by many. And you have to understand that nobody really wanted to watch a garbage race swap film that nobody really enjoyed in the first place. If we even view the comments here, we have Disney's race swap the character. There's going to be controversy. I'd imagine if a white character played Princess Tiana, there would be controversy too. The Little Mermaid is inspired by a tale by Hans Christian Andersen, who is Danish. Mermaid folklore, who also originated from the European countries. Her maturity is showing. It was obviously a compliment. Maybe an offhanded one, but still a sincere compliment. To run to executives who complain and demand better interviews is so narcissistic and childish, any person would be embarrassed for her. Well, these are what these people, these are entitled narcissistic children. They never grow up, they always think they are being racially charged or whatever, and they just don't seem to evolve past the child phase. Homegirl isn't the Little Mermaid, and she never will be. Yes, that is true. I would never actually think this person has an actual Little Mermaid because it's a false representation of what the Little Mermaid is. If we want an actual Little Mermaid or a mermaid folklore, do African one or do more of a black one because there are plenty of those of that. Don't just steal what's technically not needed. But we also have this as well. The Little Mermaid posters in China hide her race. Yeah. But here's the thing. It says. You may have thought that Walt Disney was above pulling a John Boyega hide the black actor trick again. You were wrong. Yeah, so look at this. So we have this here that obviously this is, she's blue here, whatever, and it's kind of hard to tell her actual skin tone, which, again, you're going to know what skin tone this is. Just by looking at her. I mean, maybe not so much for the Chinese because they probably don't see much black people at all. But, but as you can see here, it's, obviously in Chinese letters. And then you have, again, this here where she's obviously black here, so this is no hiding this and whatnot. So, yeah, it's not really a surprise. China is, Hollywood is what we call a two-faced piece of garbage. They're going to lie to people. They're going to act like they care about black people, but then, for the money, because that's really what it is, they're going to make a person a different color or try to hide the race of another color in another country because they all want that money. So it's not really hard to understand that they're trying to virtue signal and try to gather money. And they have no morals, they have no principles, they have nothing. They just try to cater to what is happening in America and trying to gather that money rather than, try to have principles or morals and maybe, outcast people that actually hate black people. But, Disney really cares about the black people. They love them ever so much. They really want more of them in here, and they love them so much is that they will put a black woman on display, obviously having controversy and, having her get blasted by the media and having also probably ruined her career because, people are not going to watch the movie because it's horrible. And also her probably put every racist name in the book by the Chinese because the Chinese don't like black people. But, of course, we love black people. We're Hollywood. We're Disney. We couldn't care. We love black people more and the more that we put them into our place, the more that we care about these said black people. It's all the reality that you guys have to face. But, it doesn't seem that it's doing too great here. And as to expected, because this movie was always going to be trash. Alright guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.